Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. You know, look at him trying to come it out. It's hilarious, hilarious.
Jim Carrey shocked everyone when he appeared on Jimmy Kimmel's show and started talking openly about Hollywood's hidden side. With a mix of humor and seriousness, he pulled back the curtain on things people have whispered about for years but never dared to say out loud. Even Kimmel looked nervous as Carrey dropped one revelation after another, mixing jokes with truths that hit hard. Carrey pointed out a strange hand symbol and teased Kimmel about pretending not to know what it meant. He said it
What is that exactly? Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Well, you don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Was tied to secret groups like the Illuminati, claiming that Hollywood insiders use symbols and signs right in front of the audience. While Carrey delivered his words with a smile, the weight behind them was clear. He wasn't just joking. He was hinting at something real, and viewers could feel the tension in the room. He went on to say he was tired of the lies, tired of the secrets, and ready to let everyone in on the joke. According to him, late-night hosts, sitcom actors, and comedians have been used by powerful groups to distract people.
I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, and they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things.
Keeping audiences entertained and unaware of what's really going on. Carrey described how decisions are made in private, away from the cameras, while the public is kept busy with laughter and lighthearted distractions. For years, it has felt like every comedian and talk show host was reading from the same script, repeating the same politically correct lines, afraid to step out of place. What once was comedy has started to feel more like a classroom lecture, where laughing at the wrong joke can get you canceled. Even big companies joined in, showing off their woke image while ignoring common sense. Ads, movies, and award shows all started to look the same, shiny on the outside but hollow inside. That's why Carrey's honesty felt refreshing. His words cut through the noise and gave a voice to what so many people already sensed.
I'm trying to come it out. It's hilarious, hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do?
Who?
This thing is buzzing, hold on. They're trying to turn us into, you know, consumer drones of some sort. Hold on, I just got to get this.
And, yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some...
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus.
But couldn't say. Watching Kimmel try to laugh it off only made the moment funnier and more awkward. Carrey wasn't just clowning around. He was making a point. He warned that people are being pushed into becoming nothing more than consumers, distracted and controlled, while the truth stays hidden. Jim Carrey, during his chat with Jimmy Kimmel, mixed humor with sharp truths. He joked about being interrupted by his iPhone, but used the moment to point out how even our devices keep us distracted. While the economy struggled, families faced financial stress, and the border crisis worsened, people stayed glued to their screens. Social media outrage and culture wars kept everyone busy fighting over small issues instead of focusing on real national problems. Meanwhile, America's global image...
You know, it's so beautiful. It really is, especially when I'm absent from it.
Do you feel like you're separated from the rest of the world and what's going on?
No, not separated at all. In fact, it's the exact opposite. You know, don't get me wrong, you know, Jim Carrey is a great character, and I was lucky to get the part. but I don't think of that as me anymore.
You don't.
Suffered, allies began losing trust, and rivals mocked us. But instead of serious discussion, people were fed a steady stream of surface-level debates, like identity politics and pronouns. Carrey explained that he no longer saw himself as Jim Carrey the actor. To him, that was just a role he once played. Now, he felt more like life itself was experiencing him, not the other way around. His words sounded strange to some, but beneath the humor, he was pointing out something real. Hollywood runs like a machine. Fame, money, and influence are given to stars, but in return, they are expected to follow the script, push certain ideas, and keep audiences entertained. Once their time is up, they are quietly replaced by a new wave of actors.
I used to be a guy who was experiencing the world, and now I feel like the world and the universe experiencing a God.
I think we
There's
got a
kind of
little
been a
taste
shift.
of that just a moment ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And does the beard have anything to do with that?
Well, here's the thing. The beard, yes. Everywhere I go, people talk about the beard. They go, what are you doing? Why are you growing a beard? Why are you growing a beard? It's like they can't really think about anything else. It's just not, cohesive. There's something different about me, and it's that damn beard. And wherever I show up, it becomes this story, Right. It's a bigger star than me at this point.
Mm-hmm. And is that good?
It has its own Twitter.
It does?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Thank God it likes me.
Actors, comedians, and influencers who continue the same cycle. He also laughed about his beard, saying it had become more famous than he was. Everywhere he went, people asked about it, making it the focus of conversation instead of anything deeper. Jokingly, he said the beard had its own Twitter account because it had become such a big deal. Not every celebrity decided to play along with Hollywood's system. Some saw exactly what was happening, how real creativity and honest entertainment were being crushed, while the country's culture was quietly being damaged. Instead of selling out, they stood their ground. And for that, they were punished. The same media that once celebrated them suddenly turned against them, labeling them villains, outcasts, or dangerous voices. But many of them didn't just survive, they thrived outside the system. Joe Rogan built one of the biggest platforms.
I'm saying that it's an emotional response.
Right.
I'm not on the page.
And that's not a good idea, emotional responses. Let's use this and not this. That's why. Thank you.
In the world by refusing to censor himself. Gina Carano stood firm even after Disney fired her. Elon Musk continues to challenge mainstream narratives while reshaping entire industries. Rob Schneider openly calls out Hollywood's hypocrisy. These examples prove that the machine isn't unstoppable. Bill Maher is another case. Once seen as a champion of the woke movement, he eventually stepped away when it became clear that it was going too far. For years, Maher was embraced as part of the trend. But when the movement started to turn on itself, he chose reason over blind loyalty. At one point, Maher even called out fellow late-night host Stephen Colbert. His advice was simple. Stop relying so much on emotions and start using logic. Emotions, he explained, change quickly and often...
Dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Lead to overreaction. But thinking with your head gives stability and balance, even in chaos. Maher wasn't just giving casual advice, he was pushing Colbert and the whole comedy industry to think more critically instead of just following emotional theatrics. Jimmy Kimmel's firing has made headlines, and right away people are blaming Trump, calling it an attack on free speech. But let's be real, this had nothing to do with free speech. Kimmel wasn't silenced. He was fired because his show had bad ratings and he wasn't funny anymore. For years, he played his role in the media machine, mocking the right people, repeating the same political lines, and pretending it was all comedy. Alongside Stephen Colbert, he became one of late night's loudest political voices. But the machine doesn't care about loyalty. It uses people.
Great news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel had zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. Is that true? That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. President Donald J. Trump.
Until they're no longer useful. Once the audience stopped watching and the narrative started to collapse, Kimmel had no purpose left. He wasn't a victim, he was simply discarded, like every pawn once the game changes. Trump even celebrated the firing on Truth Social, saying it was great news for America and mocking Kimmel's low ratings. He also took a shot at Colbert and Seth Meyers, calling them losers with terrible numbers as well. Trump's return to the White House has shaken things up. For years, Democrats pushed an ideology that divided Americans and made common sense seem outdated. Late-night hosts like Colbert and Kimmel acted more like political enforcers than entertainers, pushing that same agenda night after night. But now, the grip of that culture is slipping. The so-called woke comedy that dominated TV is losing its audience, and its biggest voices are fading away. With Trump back, America has a chance to move away from that culture of forced conformity and back toward reality and strength. Kimmel's fall isn't really a surprise. If he had lasting talent, he'd still have his show. Instead, his weaknesses finally caught up with him. TV and news are businesses before anything else, and they only care about numbers, ratings, relevance, and money. When a host stops being funny, stops keeping viewers interested, or just repeats the same ideas, networks make the tough choice to cut them and move on. Some people will complain it's censorship or politics, but that's not it. Networks answer to their audience and advertisers, not ideology. If Kimmel spent years reading from a script instead of improving his skills, then losing his job was simply business at work. It may feel harsh, but it's fair.